The television industry is alive and kicking. The television industry is a content creation engine and is developing and evolving regardless of the delivery platforms. Hi, good morning. I'm Richard Scott from Harris Broadcast Communications. Yes, Harris provides end-to-end solutions to the broadcast industry, giving our customers opportunities to create, to manage, and to deliver media content on a wide variety of platforms. We work to provide hardware and software solutions for the TV studio environment in standard definition, high definition, and increasingly now we're working with our customers on the experimental things like 3D television. We also provide delivery systems, so transmission technology to allow our customers to deliver television signals in both a linear and eventually a non-linear environment.
You supply your products both to public broadcasters who depend basically on government budgets. You also supply it to the private sector, an industry that relies heavily on advertising. We're in the midst of a financial crisis. How is your business developing?
Yes, we do take very seriously our responsibilities of working with public service broadcasters and the commercial market. And it's an interesting question you ask, because we are finding that the rate of change and the need for our commercial customers to compete with each other does put a lot of pressure on the public service broadcasters, who sometimes are not able to move quite as quickly, either because of budget constraints or in sometimes even things like procurement policies for our public service broadcasters can be, in some cases, a little bit restrictive and prevents them moving quite as quickly as some of their commercial competitors.
We're here at the IBC. We see a lot of evolutionary developments, as you're talking about. HD is something that everybody's getting used to now, but it's not widely penetrated yet in the market, and 3D already is coming along. How do you see these developments? Are they speeding up?
Great question. Yeah, I think it is fair to say that high definition now is here to stay. We see the standardization of high definition signals around the world is now done. So it's now more a case of the consumers and the viewers at home being comfortable with spending money on both services and TV sets in the high definition format. And we do see that moving along quite rapidly now in a wide range of countries. Now the idea that things are going to move quickly to 3D television, quite frankly, our view is the jury is still out on this. We know there is a lot of movement in things like movie theaters to move to 3D, which is well understood. But for the television market, most of our customers are saying they don't yet have a clear view of the business model associated with 3D TV. And so most of them are putting a toe in the water, maybe setting up some experimental or test channels. And we're working with many of them to find low-cost ways of doing this. In other words, most of the Harris products and devices on show here at IBC are already 3D TV capable, which means that our customers don't have to spend a huge amount of extra money in order to get a 3D TV service running.
Richard, there are critics saying that the TV industry is dead. It's all going to be overtaken by the web. How do you see that at Harris?
Yeah, we have a very clear view of that situation, and we work very closely with all delivery platforms. The web, in our book, is just another one of many different alternative methods of getting high-quality content to consumers and viewers. And whether they are getting the content over the terrestrial television, satellite, the web, or over the computer in different formats, our view of the situation is that the television industry is alive and kicking. The television industry is a content creation engine and is developing and evolving regardless of the delivery platform. So we're very bullish and very confident about the future of our industry.
So what do you see as the main challenge then?
The main challenge, I think, is to understand the business needs of our customers, because there are sometimes hype generated around new delivery platforms. We mentioned earlier on things like 3D TV, and in some cases the business models and the ability to make money in some of these areas is still not yet clearly defined. So it's finding ways to work with our customers so that they can experiment or test with some of these markets without making huge investments. And then when things do start to take off, that then we can work with them to really realize the benefits of those new platforms.
The audience of EOX TV is very much a European policy audience. What would your message be to European policy makers in terms of innovation, maybe in terms also of the digital agenda, the media revolution that we're seeing?
Yeah, we work very closely with all the various standards bodies, so whether we talk about the EBU or the DVB or all the other standards bodies, we work very closely to ensure that our technology meets those various standards, and we work with the standards bodies to help advise on what is going on around the rest of the world. So from a technical side of things, I think we're pretty well positioned. As I mentioned earlier on, I think policymakers do perhaps need to take a look at some of the constraints that they are putting on our public service broadcasters. I mentioned the rate of change is actually moving along quite quickly. There are quite severe financial pressures on public service broadcasters, and I think I would like to see some relaxation of some procurement policies to allow us to work more closely and in a more nimble way, an agile way with the public broadcasters in the same way that we do with the commercial sector.
Richard Scott, Vice President at Harris Broadcast, thanks very much.
My pleasure.